Microphone check 1 2 1 2. We got the these are the steps here we're gonna be working with for this lab. Here is the lab we're working with. Let me get the camera going here. We got Anders Tech 79 in the building. Glbp, appreciate you for tuning in. Give me a second, let me get the camera going here. Camera. Webcam, microphone check 1 2. I hope you guys can hear me. Last time I didn't have no sound in the first couple of minutes of the video. If you're subscribed to, or if you're following me on IG at NetworkBruh, you would get a behind the scenes of me before I actually stream. So you actually see the hardware that I'm actually using for this lab. And as you can see here, this is the topology that we're working with, but this is the logical view of the network topology that we're going to be working with, right? I guess I could show y'all if I move my camera and stuff like that, but I don't want to move this whole laptop and everything just so y'all can see. So let me do it just for now, right? If anything unplugs, then I'm definitely not doing this again. Next time you'll have to actually go on my Instagram live to actually see it. But yeah, that's the hardware we're gonna be using with. I got 4 3750s there. I've got 2 laptops. Maybe I'll plug up this laptop for the other NPCs, because remember, look, we got 4 hosts here. We got host A, we got host B over here, we got the SQL server right over here. We also got the finance server right over here. I don't have any hosts that's going to represent the finance server or the SQL server, but maybe I'll do that using this PC. But I definitely have a host A and a host B, the engineering and the payroll PC. So I'll get that going here in a second. S-Move in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. Yo, bro, what it do? Long time no here, but I'm here rocking with you, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. Yeah, it's been a minute since I streamed. I think I streamed two times this week, which is a record. I'm just trying to get right back into it, but you know, you got to crawl before you walk. We're doing another Hsrp lab. I'm going to be using actual hardware. If you want to follow along, fire up Packet Tracer, GNS3 or whatever, and cable it up like this. I'll give you guys 10 minutes to do that. Yeah, just 10 minutes. And if you're joined to my Discord server, you would have known about this lab right here, or even IG. I haven't done it on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter in a while, but let me give you guys the invite for anybody that doesn't know. I also have a Discord server, and if you were joined on the Discord server, you would have known about this, and you would have been able to just, you know, get the inside scoop on this topology that we was going to be working with, and you can cable it up before we actually stream, so that way you can do it along with us. But that's the invite to the Discord server. Atticus now says sound is good, video is good. All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you for letting me know, because like I said, last time I was just talking away and you couldn't hear anything, right? So if you got GNS3 or even G or Packet Tracer or whatever, cable it up like this. There's the addressing guide for the Hsrp gateway addresses at the top. Give you guys about 10 minutes before class starts, as if this is class, right? Also in the Discord server, we have the steps on how we're actually following, what we're actually going to do. The first thing was to do, prepare the switches for the lab. Erase the startup to config. This is if you're actually using hardware. You don't have to do this if you're doing even G or whatever. You'll have a fresh, clean slate, right? But I'm actually using, physical hardware where you actually have to delete the VLAN.dat file, reload the switches, make sure that there's no old configs on there or anything like that, and actually cable it up. Yes, I like doing it the old school way. That's just me. You ain't got to do it like me. You know, if you want to use virtualization, like I said, there's a whole bunch of tools, applications that are out there. You can do that. I just like to use hardware. All right, don't judge me. Let's also pull up. We talked about Hsrp in the last couple videos. I'm just gonna talk about it just a little bit. Then we'll pull up a current event in the IT industry, and then we'll move right along. Where was that? I had some. I had these guides that we were using. Where are they? Not that. The cheat sheets. There they go. FHRPs, which stands for First Hop Routing Protocols, right? There's 3 of them, commonly 3 common first hop redundancy protocols, right? VRRP, Glbp, and Hsrp. Pop quiz. Which ones, without looking at this, which ones are Cisco Proprietary, Hsrp, VRRP, Hsrp, VRRP, or Glbp? That's a trick question. Which ones are Cisco Proprietary? Let's talk about them though. Hsrp is Hot Standby Routing Protocol. VRRP is Virtual Routing Redundancy Protocol, and Glbp is Gateway Load Balancing Protocol. Right? There's 3 types. It's ways for us to create redundancy with our first hop, which is why they call them FHRPs. Right? So in case one router goes down, let's say today we're working with Hsrp. Let's say we have one router goes down, then we still have 2 more that'll be our gateway, except they'll be put in groups and it'll be seen as one. They'll share what's called a virtual IP address, so it looks like the gateway is still up, if that makes any sense, because they're all using they're all sharing one IP address, but to the end user, all they see is .1 or whatever their gateway is, because that's what we're going to set it to be. AO said, "How did you make it out the knock?" How would I say that I did that? The best advice I can give you is to use a recruiting agency, like an IT recruiting company that will place you for network engineering roles. When they see that, let's say if you work for a knock or whatever, apply. There's a couple of them that are out there. There's Robert Half IT. There's Tech Systems. There's one in the up north. I forgot what that one was called. I think Bowman Williams or something like that. There's a whole bunch of them out there. But the one that's really popular nationwide, I would say, is Robert Half Technology. Atticus Now said all are Cisco Proprietary. Nah, you can fact check me on that. No, they're not. They're not. You're pretty close though. You're close. But there's a couple IT recruiting companies that can help you get, I guess, say out of the knock, if you want to say it that way. But and the reason why I say that is because they have a one leg up, or they have kind of like an inside scoop, or they have relationship with these companies that'll get you in the door. All you got to do is just make sure your resume is on point, and then they'll look at it and be like, they'll fix it up for you or whatever, and they'll say, hey, I've got a good I've got a good candidate for you. He's got this kind of experience, blah, 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 or he's got, he's trying to get into whatever. They'll speak on your behalf. So that's why it's good to work with these companies, because they have relationship with these other companies, and they'll get you through the door at least. They'll at least get you to the door. It's now once you're in the interviewer's seat or in the interviewee's seat, now it's up to you to kind of sell yourself. Brian Crawford said, Hsrp and Glbp are Cisco Proprietary. Brian Crawford is correct. So VRRP is actually an open standard, which means you can use it with any routing, any vendor. You can use it on a Juniper router. You can use it on a Cisco router. You can use it on I don't know what else is there, Silver Peak, whatever. There's other routers that you can use it on, basically. So as you can see right here, where are they at? See here. This cheat sheet right tells you Cisco standardized, but licensed by Cisco. VRRP is a open standard, which is Cisco's Hsrp, an open standard alternative to Hsrp, and then there's Gateway Load Balancing Protocol, which is also Cisco Proprietary. So again, Brian is correct. Foster said Hsrp and VRRP are Cisco Proprietary. Not quite. VRRP is the one that is not Cisco Proprietary. It is the open standard one. The other two are Cisco Proprietary, but now Hsrp is standardized. So you could use it on other routers, but it's Cisco Proprietary, if that makes sense. AO said, gonna get my CCNA Cert too. Yeah, do that, man. It's a great certification. It is the intro cert for, I wouldn't call it an introduction certification, but it is a great first certification. I like it more than my first IT certification, though, was the A+ certification, and then I did a Network Plus. And to me, I wouldn't say they were a waste of money, but it was waste for me to take the exams. The knowledge from it was good, but I wouldn't say they got my foot in the door or anything like that. So So Foster and AO, or actually Foster and Atticus now, does that make sense? Which ones are Cisco proprietary and which ones are not? I hope that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, so see how these two right here are the open standard ones. Those two right there are open standard. This is Cisco proprietary. Hsrp is also Cisco proprietary, but now is in an open standard, which means you can use it on anything. AO says, should I get a Linux cert too? I wouldn't say that it's necessary, but it's definitely good to have Linux knowledge. I don't really have that much knowledge in Linux, but it is great knowledge to have. You wouldn't have to have the certification though. Shout out to Josh from Keep It Techie. That's another channel you want to subscribe to if you want to learn more about Linux distributions and Linux operating systems and stuff like that. I wanted to talk about this article before we start with the lab here. For anybody that's just joined, this is the lab we're going to be working with, and then I'll walk through it, and then we'll call it a night. Microsoft finds Linux desktop flaw that gives root to untrusted users. Elevation of privilege vulnerabilities can be used to gain persistent root access. So this is similar to the vulnerability with the Android phones. How fitting is that, right? Yeah. AO said he wanted to learn, should he get a Linux cert? Maybe you should, so that way you can stop these vulnerabilities from happening. Vulnerabilities recently discovered by Microsoft makes it easy for people with a toehold on many Linux desktop systems to quickly gain root system rights. The latest elevation of privileges flaw come to light in open source OS. As operating systems have become hardened to withstand compromises in recent years, elevation of privilege, EOP vulnerabilities, have become a crucial ingredient for most successful hacks. Yeah, so that's basically the best way to get into it. Once you can get root access or elevated access, it's like the world is your oyster, man. That's how you kind of, that's the simplest way of hacking into a system, is just getting privileged access to systems. They can be exploited in concert with other vulnerabilities that are on their own are often considered less severe, with the latter giving what's called local access and the former escalating the root access. From there, adversaries with physical access or limited system rights can deploy backdoors or execute code of their choice. So, and then they just go on and on about these other vulnerabilities and what they, how they, I guess, found these flaws in Linux desktop operating systems. But if you want to read the rest of that article, I will put it in the group chat there. Atticus now said thanks. Foster got it, is understanding it now. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, man. Those are just like little fun facts. You don't have to know which ones are Cisco proprietary or not or whatever, but those are just like little fun facts that, sometimes Cisco like to throw at the exams, that they'll tell you, which one is the open standard you can use for this, for this implementation or whatever. If you knew that, then, that'll help. But, there's a lot of useless trivia that we'll know once you learn about this stuff. Like, once you get out in the field, you'll be like, why the hell do I need to know which one is Cisco proprietary or not? Well, let's say your company has, nothing but extreme switches. Maybe you can't use Glbp on it, right? Because it's Cisco proprietary. But if you'd have known that fun fact, then, sometimes it'll help. Who knows? Let's go on with the lab. Step number 1 was to cable this stuff up. I already did that before, like maybe a couple hours ago. If you follow me on social media, I'm on IG and Twitter at NetworkBruh. You'll see I kind of do a behind the scenes of me cabling up this equipment, so that way y'all ain't gotta watch me do this on the live stream. So that cuts all this stuff in half, right? So I already cabled up the equipment as shown on the topology. I already did the IP addressing, the subnet mask, and the default gateways shown in the topology, etc., etc., etc. I did the basic parameters. Right now, all I got to do is starting from, I think, step 4 on. So, I think there's 11 steps. Let's start with this one right here. Configure default gateways on the access layer switches, ALS1 and ALS2. Their distribution layer switches will not use a default gateway because they act as layer 3 devices, right? So in other words, routing is turned on already, right? How can we tell? We just do show IP route. So let's start with, I know the labeling is kind of wrong here, but that's because, how do I say this? Like I said, I'm using actual hardware, but I like to harden, I like to have the names in a certain way. But the lab instructions for the guides, they name their switches differently. So that's why I kind of left them that way. But the actual, when you're logged into them, you'll see that I actually changed the host name. So back to what I was saying, ALS1 and ALS2, they want us to configure the default gateways. What are they going to be? Right here, 172.16.1.1. And we can tell if it's on by doing show IP routes. If we don't see a routing table, then we know it's layer 2, right? So as in contrast to this one right here, that's ALS, what is that? That's ALS2. So these are the distribution layer switches. If we do show IP route like this, see that guy is layer 2. So we need to make him layer 3. How do we do that? I'm not going to sit here and wait and tell you. I'll just go ahead and tell y'all. Y'all know I like doing these pop quizzes, but I'll go ahead and tell you. It's IP routing. That's how we turn on routing, right? IP routing. And then if we do show IP routes, once we see a routing table like this, then we know it's layer 3, right? So as opposed to this one, it's layer 2 when the IP redirect cache is empty and it looks like this. There's no default gateway set or anything like that. We know it's layer 2. So we got to do the same thing with this guy right here to turn on. Make sure that this guy has routing turned on. Show IP route. He doesn't have a routing turned on too. So I'm glad I checked these guys. IP routing, right? That turns it from layer 2 switch to a layer 3 switch, right? Because they said, remember, they said the distribution. So this guy, and this guy needs to be layer 3, right? Because their distribution, and these guys right here and this guy, their access layer, they're going to be layer 2, right? So we turned on layer 3 for these guys, right? We could verify with what? Show IP route. We see he's layer 3. We go to these two guys right here, and they should be layer 2, right? So this guy should be layer 2 as well. Show IP route. He's layer 2 also. Let's go ahead and configure that default gateway, right? Right now, default gateway is not set, as you can see right there. He said to set the default gateway to be what? 172.16.1.1. How do we do that? Go to global config mode, IP default gateway. Y'all hit me that like button too. 72.16.1.1. And then we'll do the same thing on the other guy. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that because I'm too lazy. Global config mode, IP default gateway 16.1.1. We check our work with what? Show IP route. Check the routing table, and now we see the default gateway is set, but the redirect cache is still empty, so we ain't got to worry about that. ICMP redirect. Y'all know what that is, right? Redirecting pings. Because if we do that, then we can gather information on our networks, and sometimes we want to turn that off, right? Y'all with me so far? Y'all need any questions or anything? Y'all let me know. There's no such thing as a dumb question. A good question with whose question was that? He said somebody was asking about how to get out of the knock. Yeah, that's the best way. I think if you can get with an IT recruiting company, that's the best way to kind of like move up in the tech field, in my opinion. You know, like if you're in help desk, work with a recruiting agency and tell them, look, I don't want no more fucking help desk jobs, man. Give me something that's like, you know, working in a knock or something like that, working with more network and stuff. And then from there, you tell them the same thing. I don't want no more knock jobs. Don't send me this shit, man. Send me only engineering roles. And then when you from there, you start raising your standards up, right? You say, no, look, man, I want nothing but 6 figures at this point, man. Don't send me nothing that's only like 80 or 90 or whatever like that. You know what I mean? You just keep raising your standards every time. I don't make any lateral moves. That was the mistake I did at the beginning of my IT career. I went from help desk to a desktop job. You know what I mean? And then I realized, you know what? I'm not gonna make 6 figures until I require that. So. And you let your recruiter know when you're working with them. You know, don't be afraid to tell them you want to make some damn money. So let's step 4, right? We're working on, well, how many? 11? We got 11 steps, right? We're gonna try to race through this. Configure trunks and ether channels between switches. I know we came to do Hsrp, but they want us to throw in some trunks and ether channels and configure some access ports. Maybe I'll get these end devices to ping each other and stuff if we got time. I don't know. The next step was step 4, right? All right, so we'll go to distribution layer switch number 1. Where is he at? He's right here. First thing they want us to do is a port channel between. Oh, they have some tips in here too. I forgot. I can tell you guys this. Ether channel is used for the trunks because it allows you to utilize both fast Ethernet interfaces. So they want us to create a trunk between. They want us to create like a port channel on DLS1, a port channel number 1 on port 7 through 8, right? So when we go to DLS1, which is this guy right here, they want us to put, maybe use another, this right here, that's a symbol for a port channel, right? And make those ports, 2 ports right there, into a port channel and call that port channel 1. So we go to DLS1, we go to global config mode, we say interface range, so that way we can work with both interfaces. Is it FA interface? 0/7 through 8? Nope. Oh, these are 107 through 8, I believe. So 107 through 8, there we go. Right? And we can tell, right, because these are stackable switches. That's why they have 3 numbers like that. So we do a show interface status, and then you'll see, yeah, FA10, whatever, right? So they want us to put these 2 in a port channel. Doing, I guess we'll go with desirable. We'll put it in Cisco Proprietary. So switch port, trunk, we'll do encapsulation, .1Q, switch port, mode, trunk. They want us to put it in a trunk too, by the way. And then, and so notice that it went down and came back up. And now we wanted to put it in a port channel. So now we say channel group 1 mode, I say desirable. Oh, but they also say to shut down these port channels. You don't have to, but it's best practice to do that. So shut them down before you start working on it. So let's go there. I'm going to shut this interface is down and then that side down, and then we'll bring it up. So let's go to ALS1 and shut those down. So where's ALS1? He's right over here. And we'll go to interface range FA 101/0/7 through 8. Shut those bad boys down, and then go back to this guy. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna say channel group 1 mode desirable. Notice we created port channel number 1. We can go to the other side and do the same thing, right? So now these 2 are gonna be in a port channel, right? Switch port, we want it to be trunks too, right? Switch port, trunk, encapsulation, .1Q, switch port mode, trunk, channel group 1, mode desirable. That created a port channel. So now we can unshut both sides. So that way we have a full port channel between, we'll have that to be port channel 1. That's gonna be port channel 1 right there, right? Y'all see that? Y'all with me so far? So no shut on this side. Go to the other side, no shut that. No shut. And port channel 1 should be up. FA0107 is up, 108 is up. We should have a port channel 1 too. There it is right there. Port channel 1 is up. Port channel 1 should be up on the other side as well. And there he is. Good to go. Let's do the same thing with, they want us to put ports 9 and 10 in port channel 2. So these guys right here. Where's 9 and 10? These guys right here. They want these guys right here to be in port channel number 2. Sorry for my bad handwriting. There's going to be in port channel 2. So we'll do the same exact thing. So let's start with this switch and do that side first. DLS1 is over here. Never mind these tabs. I know they're, remember, I kind of hard code my sessions. It's just that the lab, for me to follow this, I have to rename the switches, and I don't want to do that for my session. So, because I have actual hardware, right? I guess this is why you need to use EvenG or GNS3 or something like that. Oh, this is a security vulnerability, by the way, if you guys don't know. vStack is a feature to kind of like automate some configuration or whatever. And this is turned on by default, right? Luckily, my lab here is off the grid, so it doesn't matter. But this is something I had to do at work, was to turn that feature off because we had a third party. How do I say? What do you call those? Those security companies that, you know, look for any vulnerabilities in your system or whatever, and then they found this turned on in our systems. I had to turn off this feature for like 300 switches. So I just thought that was funny that it popped up on my lab here. But anyways, go to global config mode. Same thing here, right? Interface range. We said ports 9 through 10. FA 10. Come on, man. /0/9 through 10. Switch port trunk. Encapsulation .1Q. Switch port mode trunk. We'll do channel group 2 mode desirable. Well, we're not going to do that just yet. Let's shut him down first, right? Let's shut it down and go to 9 and 10 on this guy and shut these right here down, right? You don't have to, but it's best practice to do so. It even says so in the guide. DLS1 and ALS2. ALS2 is right here. Go to global config mode, interface FA1/0/9 through 10. Shut those bad boys down. I forgot the range keyword there. That's why it's threw up at me. Y'all hit me with that like button. Shut down. Go back to DLS1, which is right here. And we said channel group 2 mode desirable. Created port channel number 2. And we'll go back to, where's the other switch? ALS2? Yes. And we'll say switch port trunk encapsulation .1Q switch port mode trunk. Y'all got any questions or anything so far? Channel group 2 mode desirable. I hope I didn't mess anything up just yet. Now we can no shut these bad boys. Go to the other side. No shut that guy. No shut. And we should have a channel. We should have this port channel right here come up. Right. We turned that up. Now this one should come up, right? That's port channel number 2, right? And there's the message right there. And then the other one should have port channel 2 on the other side is up as well. Let's do the same thing on port channel 3 is going to be 7 through 8. So y'all got any questions or anything? Let me see. He said, I've been seeing Robert Half in them. Yeah, check out Robert Half IT. They're nationwide. Tech Systems is one I used to work with. They're nationwide as well. Like I said, that to me was the best way to kind of like move up in the IT field. Wale Dahir, appreciate you for tuning in. He said, is it weird I want to be a software engineer after becoming a network engineer? No, it is not weird at all. You know, whatever you desire doing, it's good that you follow your heart or whatever. Even if it makes less money, you want to become an artist or whatever. If that's what makes you happy, then that's what you do. It's not weird at all. You know, I wouldn't do coding because like coding is just like, I don't know. That's the reason why I didn't major in computer science, because I was just like, the coding was just too much for me. I'd rather work with hardware, and I like networking, plus computer networking just fascinates me anyway. So no, it's not weird at all. As a matter of fact, there's a guy, he has a YouTube channel. His name is Mike. I think it's called Cloud Architecture Engineering. I don't remember. He's based out of Florida over here as well. And he was actually a physician for like years, for like 10 or 15 years or something like that. And he became a network engineer. He got his CCIE, and now he's teaching. He has a YouTube channel just like me, and he teaches about AWS and cloud engineering. He has his own cloud engineering school. I can't remember his name. I'll look it up. But he went becoming from a physician to IT. He transitioned. So that's not weird at all. At least yours are two fields that are somewhat related. They're IT, but you're going from coding to network engineering. So no, that's not weird at all. AO said, I want to go to network admin now. Yeah, I mean, network admin is fun too, man. Like I said, I like doing network engineering. They're pretty much, they go hand in hand, except administration is you coming in, just making sure things are not broken. And as an engineer, you kind of design things. But those two, there's just a name game. It depends on the company. Some people might call you a network engineer. Some might call you a network admin. But the lines are kind of blurred with those two names right there. Professor Black Ops in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. He said, vet your recruiting companies. They will sell you out. Man, listen. One of the best advices. You know what? I don't want to... I don't want to call nobody out. I don't want to throw nobody under the bus, but that is very true. They will sell you out. I had a bad experience where I was underpaid, big time. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to say what company it was or anything like that. But make sure you just like that is one of the best advice. Professor Black Ops, if you guys don't know, he's been in the field for how many years? 20 years? 25 years in the IT field. That is one of the best advices that I could probably pass along as well. Make sure you pick the right company and make sure you're doing your homework as well, because they will sell you out. Thanks for the advice. No lateral movements. Yeah, agreed. Good advice on the VStack. Yeah, turn that feature off because it's a vulnerability on Cisco switches. AO said, so network admin is basically troubleshooting. Yes, exactly. Whereas network engineering is you're a designer. You design the network. And then, and you go from there. But you also troubleshoot too as an engineer. So that's why I say the lines are blurred between the two. Professor Black Ops is an OG. Yeah, he's an OG, man. But yeah, he is so right. Make sure you pick the right company, and yeah, they will vouch for you or whatever, but you still have to do your homework. You still have to do your homework, man. Where were we at? We created port channel 2. We want to create port channel 3 between interfaces 7 and 8. So we're going to do a port channel right here. Oops. This is a port channel right here. That's going to be port channel number 3. So let's start with, this is 3. Let's start with DLS2, which is located over here. I turned on routing for this guy, right? I did. Go to global config mode, interface range, FA 0/7 through 8. Yeah, man, it put me in a bad position too, man. Like, I ended up having to leave a company that I really wanted to, continue working with. But man, when I look, and then I got hired on with a couple of other guys too. They tried to tell me, yeah, they chose you as the best candidate, gassed my head up. And then later on, I found out, I was like, how much y'all getting paid? I was like, damn, they put me out. Man, listen, man, make sure you vet your companies. I'm trying to tell you, Professor Black Ops, I've been in the game for 30 plus years in tech. That's what I thought. I didn't want to age you out like that. But yeah, he's been in the field for 30 years. I've been in cybersecurity for 15 plus. Yes. AO salute. Yeah, man. Make sure you pick the right company if you work with a recruiting company. They, like I said, they will vouch for you. They will try to get you in the door and things like that. But at the end of the day, these recruiters are salespeople. You know what I mean? They have these contracts with these companies and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, you're still disposable to them. You know what I mean? If you won't get the job, they'll get somebody else to get the job. So, but they will get you in the door. That's, to me, the reason why it's priceless. We'll put these two in the trunk, but let's shut them down first and do the same thing on the other side. So right now I'm shutting down this side. Let me shut down this side. You don't have to. It's just best practice, right? Switch number 2. Shut those interfaces. No, I didn't do that side. That's not the one I wanted to do. I did 7 through 8 on this side, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, 7 through 8. So interface range FA 1/0 through 7 through 8. Shut those bad boys down, and then go back to DLS2. 7 through 8. We said switch port. We haven't even got to the Hsrp yet, right? Switch port, trunk encapsulation .1Q. Switch port mode trunk. And we said we're going to do channel group. What are we going to put them in? We said we're going to put them in channel group number 3, right? Channel group mode, channel group 3 mode. We said desirable. That puts it in Cisco Proprietary, right? We'll do the same thing on the other side, which is ALS number 2, right? We're on ALS2 right now. Yep. So switch port, trunk, encapsulation, .1Q, switch port mode, trunk, channel group. We said 3 mode desirable. Let's go ahead and shut that bad boy. We got channel port number 3. I think we're just gonna have 4 port channels here, right? Wrong switch. No shut that bad boy. We should see port channel number 3 come up in 5, 4, 3, 2. Get on our knees, pray to the network gods, and there's port channel 3. We can check our work so far with what? Show ether channel summary. Oh, they don't all have those port channels. ALS2 has port channels 2 and 3, right? There's ALS2. He's right there. So here's ALS2, right? He only has port channel 2 and 3. I was like, what happened to port channel 1? Well, port channel 1 is over on this side, right? That's port channel number 1, right? You see there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3, right? We can check 1 by going to ALS1 if you want to. And then run that same command, show ether channel summary, and there's port channel 1 that we was talking about. And I believe we got port channel 4, which will probably be somewhere maybe up top. Let's see, where did they want it in the guide there? I put the instructions in the Discord server. If you guys don't know, make sure you join the Discord server. It should be in the chat over there. And here's where it says that it's good practice to shut down the interfaces on both sides of the link before a port channel is created, then re-enable them after the port channel is configured. I made this mistake when I used to work in a hospital system and just bring them up and wonder why things are being misconfigured. That's why it's best to shut the interfaces down. The next step was, I believe, port channel 1. They want us to do a 1 on DLS2 also, between 9 and 10. So where's channels 9 and 10? That's weird. I don't know why they did that on DLS2. I don't like that. I think they should have done 11 and 12. That's weird. I think here's what we'll do. We'll do a we'll put 9 and 10 on DLSW2. Wait a minute, hold up. That ain't right. That ain't right. Not compared to this topology here. There is no 9 and 10. Oh, there it is right there. I didn't even see that. There's 9 and 10 right here. See that? Right here. They want this right here to be in port channel number. That's going to be port channel number 1 on that side. So that's why I got confused there. And then 7 and 8 is port channel 1. That's what they did. They did 7 and 8 on 1. Oh, that's why I called it port channel 3 when I probably should have done port channel 1. It's all good. Here's what we'll do. We'll do 9 and 10 right there and put that in port channel 1. So let's go to DLSW2. Do we have a port channel 1 in here? I'm calling them 3 and stuff like that. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see what we got before I start making things, messing stuff up. Show ether channel sum. We have a port channel 3 on 7 and 8. So we don't need to do that. So 9 and 10, we'll put that as a port channel 1 also. Remember, these numbers are locally significant. So it don't matter if you have 1, 2, and 3 on this side and then 1, 2, 3 on the other side. They're locally significant. So on DLSW2, I have 1 right here. Here's 3. And then I'll probably put this guy in port channel 2. Who knows? Who cares? But we need to put those 2 in one port channel. So 9 and 10 on DLSW2. Go to global config mode. We'll say interface range FA. My bad, y'all. If y'all lost connectivity, I hit the airplane mode button by mistake on my laptop there. So please let me know if you guys can hear me again. I hit the airplane mode button. My bad. Let me put that in the group chat there. He said, change hosts. What search do I have? I have the A+, which is expired, the Net+, which is expired, the CCNA, and working on the CCNP. Professor Black Ops said, Atticus Now says, cybersecurity for the people. Hello, checking out your channel now. Looks comprehensive. Yep, make sure you check out Professor Black Ops. 30 years in the game. You are just a resource. More skills you have, the more companies make for your placement. They lose the contract. No bench time for you. You are fired. Exactamundo. Atticus Now, I appreciate it. I'm trying to get it together. I've been studying for my AWS certs. Old people have to get new skills too. Facts. Atticus Now. Now that is a good move. I told you guys about me hitting airplane mode button by mistake. Cybersecurity for people. Thanks. Been studying for almost a year now. I just subbed to your channel. The more knowledge, the better. Yep. Make sure y'all check him out. I'm trying to tell y'all, he just dropped a gem right now, man. If you do work with a recruiting company, and like I said, that's one of the best things that helped me move up in the IT field. But make sure you choose the right company, and make sure you still do your homework too. We are here, shutting that interface down, and then let's go to the other side. We got 9 and 10 here, so that means 9 and 10 on ALSW1. ALSW1 is over here. Go to global config mode, interface range, FA 1/0/9 through 10. Shut that bad boy down, and then we go back to this side, which is DLS2, and then we'll say switch port, trunk, encapsulation, .1Q, switch port, mode, trunk, and then what were we gonna do? Channel group, mode, channel group. We already did 3, right? How many we got? We only got 3. There's 1 in here and it's 3. Let's call this one. In the guide, they put it in port channel number 1. So we'll put this on port channel 1. Port channel 1, mode, desirable. We created port channel 1 there, and then we'll go back to this side and put it in port. We'll put it in 2. We'll put this side right here, 9 and 10. Well, it'll create another port channel. So let's see what happens. Let's just no shut that side and see what happens. No shut that side, and then go to switch ALS. What is that? ALS1, and no shut this side right here. I hope it creates a port channel. Let's see what it does. It's up. Does it create a port channel though? Let's see. 9 and 10 should be bundled in a port channel. If not, then we might have to shut it down and put it in 1. 9 and 10 is not in a port channel. So let's put that in port channel 2. Let's do that. We'll put this side right here as port channel 2. So let me shut that down again. Let's shut this side down. Right? Go back to ALS1 and shut down 9 and 10 interface range FA 1/0/9 through 10. Shut that side down, and we'll say channel group 2. Yeah, let's say 2. Mode desirable. Creating port channel 2. No shut, and then we'll no shut the other side as well. No shut. So we created a port channel 2 on that side. What else we need to do here? We did 9 and 10. We did 7 and 8. We did 7 and 8 already. We just need to do 11 and 12. Man, we working with nothing but port channels. We haven't even got to the Hsrp yet, man. Jesus. Maybe I should have left this, done this off stream. Who knows? Who cares? We'll go to DLS2 and then do 9. We did 9 and 10. We'll do DLS2, 11 and 12. So we'll put these guys in port channel 2. This side right here. This side right here. We'll put that in port channel 2. It's going to be port channel number 2. Sorry for my bad hand right now. So let's go to, what is that switch? DLS2. He's right over here. And it's interface range 11 and 12. Range FA 1/0/11 through 12. And then 11 and 12 on DLS1, which is over here. We haven't touched DLS1 in a while, as you can see. Configure terminal interface range FA 1/0/11 through 12. Let's shut that bad boy down, and then we'll go over here on this side and switch port trunk, encapsulation .1Q, switch port mode trunk, channel group. We said what port? Channel number 2. Mode desirable. You got any questions or anything so far? Y'all let me know if I'm confusing y'all or anything like that. I know we haven't touched the Hsrp stuff yet. That's the only thing, man. These labs can get pretty lengthy, man. This is an old lab manual that I got this from, by the way. Switch port. Now we're doing this side, right? Switch port, trunk, encapsulation, .1Q, switch port, mode, trunk, channel group. I guess that'll be 2 on this side. Or maybe it's 1, who knows. DLSW1 doesn't have any port channels, I don't think. Yes, he does. He has 2. Let's see what he's got. Let me see what he's got before I start creating other port channels. Let's see. Show ether channel sum. We got to put a do in front of that. We've got 2 there. So we need to put the other 2 and 3. Port channel 3. So I'll do a port channel 3. Channel group 3 mode desirable. And then on this side it's 2. So now I guess we can no shut this bad boy. No shut that bad boy. And we should have 11 and 12 come up. And he should have port channel 3 come up. Get on our knees, pray to the network gods, and there he is right there. And this should have port channel 2 should have come up. Let's do a show ether channel sum. See what we got so far. He should have 3 port channels, and yes, he does. Go to this side. He should have probably 3 also. Show ether channel sum. Yes, he's got 3 port channels as well. 1, 2, and 3, right? Where they at? 1, 2, and 3. So we've got port channels all over here. I think this is the last one we got to work with. I think that's the last port channel we got to work with. 11 and 12. I think so. I believe so. Oh, in the lab manual, I know it looks kind of funky over here, but in the lab manual, they worked with different type of switches. I've got all 3750, which all supports 802.1Q trunks, as well as what's the other one? Jeez, the open standard one. I can't remember, but they worked with 2 different types of switches here. That's why they have. Well, no, that's not why, but they have layer 3 switch here and a layer 2 switch on that side. But either way, let's just do, what's the other interfaces we got to do now? Yeah, I believe 11 and 12 between ALS 1 and 2. So let's go to ALS 1 and 2. Yeah, we got these port channels right here that we got to work with. I think this is the final one right here. 11 and 12 on these 2 right here. And I'm going to call it, let's call it, what's that, port channel, let's say port channel 3, I guess, on this one. So ether channel sum. Yeah, he needs a 3rd one. And then ALS2 should have a 3rd one as well. That he needs a 3rd one. Let's see. Show ether channel sum. He should have just 2 port channels. Yes, he does. He needs to be port channel 1. So that's why it's good to check your work before you start creating these port channels. And that's another reason why you need to make sure you shut them down too. Global config mode, interface range, FA1011 through 12. Shut those bad boys down. Do the same thing on this side. You'll see a syslog message showing that they go down. Interface range, FA1011 through 12. Shut them bad boys down. Go back on this side and we'll create port channel number 1, right? So switch port, trunk, encapsulation, and that's the other one that I was looking for. ISL right there. Right? ISL is the Cisco proprietary standard. 802.1Q is the open standard, right? We're working with .1Q for now. Switch port. Switch port mode trunk, and then what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a channel group number 1. So channel group 1 mode desirable. Oh, I put 2. I made a mistake. See, this is why you got to make sure that it's shut down. I could have messed up something here, but luckily those interfaces are shut down because we already have a group 2. We already have a port channel 2. I really could have fucked things up here. You know what I mean? So this is channel group number 1, and now we're creating port channel number 1. See that? So I'm glad that they tell us to shut it down first. Best practice. You don't have to. You ain't got to do that, but it's good to do that. It's good practice. So let's do this side right here. Channel. Oh, we do this switch port, trunk, encapsulation, .1Q, switch port, mode, trunk, and then channel group. What is this one? This one is going to be port channel number 3. Mode, desirable. And then let's no shut this side. Go to the other side, no shut it. No shut. So we should have a port channel between this side right here. This side should be a port channel, right? And it should be port channel 3 on this side, or 1 on this side and 3 on the other. There's port channel number 1. The other side should be port channel number 3. And there it is right there. We check our work with what? Show, ether channel sum. And I think that is all of the port channels, man. Now, let's see. Pete said .1Q is the open standard. ISL is the Cisco standard. Yep, exactly. He said, I love software development. I just make more money doing cybersecurity. Secure coding is big in software development. Facts. Atticus not said, bruh, you are back. Yes, okay, cool. Yeah, man. My dumb ass hit the airplane mode button on my laptop. That's why I need to start working on my server back there, man. I have an actual server that I was going to use for these labs and stuff like that. You know, I could probably install even G and stuff, but I like using my hardware, man. Y'all know I'm old school, so yeah, facts on the cybersecurity, man. Big growing field, very high in demand. There's every time, you know, at the beginning of these streams, I read these current events, right? And 9 times out of 10, it talks about some sort of vulnerability or some sort of hack or some sort of, you know, exploitation or whatever, you know what I mean? So cybersecurity is just high in demand right now. So we created all of our port channels. I think they want us to put some stuff in VTP. I don't think we're going to do all that, man. Yeah, putting them in client mode, show VTP status. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to, because we got to create some VLANs. So, and then we got to create these host ports. And then step 8, which is finally configuring the Hsrp interfaces. So let's not skip any steps here. Step number 5 out of 11. Yeah, so we just did this part right here. Some of the stuff I did off stream. If you're on IG, follow me on IG. You'll see that I already did the cabling of this lab before the stream, so you get kind of a behind the scenes look of my rack, or me cabling this stuff up. And yes, I do have an actual rack. I'm not doing this stuff virtualization. I'm using hardware, so you know, don't judge me. Step 5 was to configure VTP on ALS1 and ALS2. So let's go to ALS1, which is right here. First thing they want us to do is put it in client mode, both of them to be in client mode. So how do we do that? We go to global config mode. Jesus, I forgot to turn off domain lookup. Let's go to the other switch, and there go that VStack feature again. Go to global config mode. We said VTP mode client, and then we can check our work using show VTP status. That lets us know it's in client mode, right? Let's do the same thing on this side. If the computer lookup, the no domain lookup turned off, let's turn it off. No IP domain lookup, right? Let's do the same thing on this side too, so that we won't fuck up. Go to global config mode, no IP domain lookup. Come on, man. Lookup. That turns it off, right? So that way you won't have to worry about that anymore. VTP mode client. That sets it to client mode. Now I think we got to create the VLANs on this, right? Verify, we did that. Configure VTP on DLS1. And we got to create VLANs 10, 20, 30, and 40 for the domain. And then these are the VLANs that are seen in here. There's 10. All of them, 10, 20, 30, and 40 with their respective gateway addresses. But we're creating the VLANs first, right? So 10 through 40. But we don't want to do 10 through 40, because then you'll actually create 40 VLANs. We're not doing that. We're creating 4 VLANs here. So let's go to the distribution layer switches. Go to global config mode. VTP mode. They didn't say what mode to put these guys in, did they? No, they just said to put them in SWPod domain and in version 2. That's all they said to do. So VTP domain, they said and it's going to be domain is swpod. And then they want to put it in version 2, VTP version 2. And then they want us to actually create the VLANs. Do they have the names on here? No, they don't. They don't. Oh, yes, they do. There they go right there. VLAN 30 is in the finance VLAN. VLAN 10 is the payroll domain. Payroll VLAN, etc., right? And then we're going to name them. Oh, we got a mismatch here because of the domain mismatch. So we got to make sure we go on the other switch and put it in the same domain. So let's go over here. There's the mismatch right there. See that? So now VTP domain, we said is swpod. And we shouldn't see that message anymore. Right, let's see. Do we have any other syslog messages anywhere else? No. Good. Good to go. Let's go back to global config mode on this guy and create VLANs. VLAN 10 is the payroll domain. Name payroll. And yes, they are case sensitive, I believe. VLAN 20 is the what? Where's VLAN 20? It's right there. The engineering domain right there. You see it? Let me erase all this so that way I can stop confusing you guys. Y'all hit me with that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I typically stream Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I've been changing it up because life has been hectic for me lately. Engineering. VLAN 30 is the finance. So name finance. And finally, this last one right here is the SQL server. So I guess we got to put underscore, though, right? No, they just put it server farm 1 and server farm 2 in the guide there. So VLAN, he said VLAN 30 is finance, but then in the book on the guide there, they called it server farm. Interesting. Server farm 1. And then, yeah, VLAN 30 is server farm 1 and VLAN 40 server farm 2. Interesting. But you know what? We'll just call it the SQL server domain. Fuck it. Because listen, man. We'll just call it the SQL server domain. VLAN 40 name. We'll call it the SQL. You got to do underscore, right? Because I don't think if you just do it like this, it'll take it. I don't think, right? Yeah, see, he don't like that. So you got to put an underscore there. We'll call it the SQL underscore server VLAN. Let's check our work with show VLAN. Oops, show. I know y'all waiting on the Hsrp stuff, man. My bad. There we go, right there. We got to do the same thing on DLSW2. VLAN 10. Name is the payroll domain. VLAN. Tomorrow we'll do Boson NetSim again. Y'all know I like Boson. 20 is the engineering VLAN. Name engineering. VLAN 30 is the finance VLAN. Name finance. And then VLAN 40 we said is going to be the SQL or SQL server VLAN. And then what else they want us to do? They just want us to verify our work with show VLAN and show VTP status, which we've already done. And then now they want us to configure the step 7 out of 11, right? We're at step 7 now. We did the VTP's part. We got 11 steps here, and then we'll be almost done here. We're at step 7, configure the access ports. So basically these ports right here, the ports that are connected to the access devices. So in other words, this port right here, this port right here, this port right here, and this port right here. I think they just want us to turn on port fast and then make them as access ports. Yes, and then put them in their respective domains. Configure the host ports on all 4 switches. Configure the following commands. Configure the switch port mode as access. Place the port in the proper VLANs and turn on spanning tree port fast for the ports. Y'all know what port fast is, right? It allows us to essentially turn off spanning tree and then just make the host port come up as quick as we can. I only have a device connected to switch number DLS1 and ALS1. Because I only have two laptops. I do have a third one, which is the one that I'm using here to stream. So I may or may not have end devices and test ping and test ping from this PC to that PC, etc. Right? Well, we'll see. We'll see what we got going on here now. Let's start with DLS1. No, I start with the ALS one right here, and then go to interface FA0/6. Oops, it's 106 actually. Remember, your interfaces might be different. Switch port mode, access, switch port, access, VLAN. What VLAN is he in? This VLAN right here? He's going to be in VLAN number 10. So that means, oh, we also, I don't think we created the VLANs on the access layer switches. Did they ask us to do that? Probably not. Let's see. I don't think they asked us to do that yet. Nope, they didn't. But the VLAN will probably be propagated from the other switches. Let's see. Switch port, show VLAN. Nope, it didn't. Maybe because we got to put these in that. Let's do this. Because those VLANs should have been propagated down to us using VTP. Show VTP status. Let me see. He's a client, but we didn't put him in that domain. So let's see if we put him in that domain, if those VLANs come across. Let's see. And it's SW pod, right? So VTP domain SW, all caps, SW pod, right? And then we do a show VLAN brief. Nope, didn't come across. I would have thought those VLANs would have came though, man. Yep. I would have thought those VLANs would have came across, man. Because they are connected. What about this side? Oh, look at that. We got some user notification, empty, a mismatch. Oh, probably because we didn't put it. We got to put a password or something. Let's see. ALS2 mismatch of revision summary on port channel 2. We got, this thing is throwing up at us right here. Where's the other one? Let's see. We put it in the correct VLAN. I mean, domain name. Let's see here. We might have to create those VLANs manually. Show VTP status on this guy. He is in the SW pod domain. Let me see. He said gotta make a default image without IP domain lookup. Yeah. Well, the thing is, what makes the code secure or not? Oh, I don't know if Professor Blackops is still in the building, but hopefully he can answer that question for you. Let me see. What makes a code secure or not? A code? Like a, what type of code are you talking about? Software code? iOS code? Let me know what you mean. But Pete, yeah, I'm using hardware, so maybe if I could probably save like a default running config template, because it does take a lot of time to like set it all up and do all of this stuff, which is why a lot of people like to use virtualization over hardware. So what was the next thing we were going to do here? Where were we? Yeah, the VLAN did not come across, but either way, on the guide there, they manually did it, so maybe that's why. Who knows? Let's see. Let's go back to the to these switches right here, or these switches, and then just manually create those. I'm gonna turn off. What am I gonna turn off? Something I wanted to turn off, or remove them from being in that domain there, because they honestly didn't ask us to do this. Let me remove that domain name. They didn't ask me to do that. They didn't ask me to do this right here. No VTP domain. Okay, I thought you could do that. No, VTP. You can't remove it that way. You just say VTP domain, and then how do you remove the domain name? If you just do VTP domain like that, you can actually name the domain, but you can't just remove it. I forgot how to remove that. If anybody remembers. If you just do VTP domain and then, no, you can't do it that way either. How do you erase the domain name? Because see, now I put him in that domain, but I didn't really want to do that. Domain like that. I'll show VTP status. See, he's in that domain. How do you erase that? Anybody remember? But they manually put in those access interfaces, these access ports, in their respective VLANs. So let me just go ahead and do that and just call it. So ALS1 is in VLAN 10. So back to FA06 interface FA106 switch port access VLAN 10. And is he going to create VLAN 10 when he does that? Show VLAN brief. Interesting. He didn't even create it. Let's do ALS2 and create put this interface in that port, which is VLAN 20. I thought he would have created it too. Interface FA1/0/6 switch port access VLAN 20 and switch port. Spanning tree port fast. I needed to do the same thing on this guy too. Interface FA0106 spanning tree. We got some user notification. Port fast. There's something that I need to turn off here. I think that is what's going on here. Let's put that in its interface, which is supposed to be in VLAN 30. That's supposed to be in VLAN 30. Which switch is that? DLS1. DLS1 is right here. Go to global config mode. Interface FA106. And holy moly, it's hot in here. I thought I put the AC, turned it up, turned it down some. Switch port access. VLAN 30. I almost put it in 230. Spanning tree. Port fast. And what else they wanted us to do with that? That was pretty much it for that one. He said this is prep for CCNP. Yeah, this isn't actually an old manual. They used to have this exam called the CCNP Switch exam, and this was one of the labs from it. This was like version 6. It was like an old lab. So yes, it can prepare you for it. They have stuff on Hsrp on some of their exams, but this manual is kind of outdated in a way. But it's still usable also. It's in transparent mode. Is that why? I thought I put it in client mode. Let's see. Mode. VTP mode was client mode. Yeah, it was in client mode. But yeah, good catch. He said validate all your inputs. No password or secret keys in your code. OWASP top 10 checks. Make sure your code connects to encrypted to database, etc. Yep. Make sure y'all follow Professor Blackhouse for any kind of cybersecurity and STIGs implementation and stuff like that. He'll put you on game. The next port, we did that one on DLS2. Did I do DLS1? I did DLS1. I need to do DLS2. Go to global config mode, interface FA01/0/6. I want to see what that VTP mismatch error is. What's this about? I got an MD5 checksum mismatch on the port channel there. So I want to check that out. I don't think I've seen that error before. Switch port mode access. Switch port access. VLAN is supposed to be what? VLAN 40 right over there, right? You see that? 40. So interface status. I just want to see what did he put it in VLAN. Did he actually put it in VLAN 40? Yes, he did. It's not connected. Do I have a laptop connected to that? No, I got a laptop connected to, looks like ALS1. But if y'all want me to put it there, let's go ahead and do that. He's DLS2. I'll need to turn that guy on over there. I have 2 laptops over there, so let me see. I think this is ALS1 and ALS2, and then DLS1 and DLS2. I don't remember which is which. Physically looking at them, I don't remember which is which. So, but anyway, that port is in its correct VLAN. Let's make sure the other guys in there correct VLAN. Show interface status. Is he in VLAN 40? Yep, he's in VLAN 30 rather. And then it's the ALS switches. I don't remember if I put those. Those are kind of questionable. Yeah, he's in VLAN 10, and then the other one should be in VLAN 20, right? Show interface status. He's in VLAN 20. I thought it would have created that VLAN though. Show VLAN brief real quick. They don't show up in the VLAN database. That's what's weird to me. Even though it says it's in VLAN 20. So let me get rid of the brief. Yeah, I don't see VLAN 20 in the VLAN database, even though I put that port there. So that's what's weird to me. To me. To you. This is kind of a long stream. We haven't even got to the Hsrp yet. Are we there yet? I think we're almost there. Finally, we're on the Hsrp. What we finally freaking came to do. The Hsrp stuff. Configure Hsrp interfaces and enable routing. Good Lord. Trust _trust said, what secure CRT theme is that? Good question. This is a file that you can use. It's called Cisco Words. So if you go to keyword highlighting, you gotta make sure that's highlighted and turned on, and you gotta have this file. Where's that file go? You got to put it in the you got to put it in this folder. I can't remember where the folder is, but there it is right there. It's called Cisco Words for Black Background. I think if you Google that and you drop that file in a specific secure CRT folder, you can have this theme right here where everything is all colorful and point things out. It makes things a lot easier and a lot readable. Good question though. I think if you go to what's his name's channel, Dewan Lightfoot, he shows you actually how to create these keyword highlights. Pete said, if that switch is a client, it doesn't matter that you assign the physical port to the VLAN, I think. Really? That's rather interesting. There's the other one right there, Cisco Words, and then Cisco Words for Black Background. There's 2 themes I've got there. But I just can't remember where you got to put them. I think you got to, let me see. I'm going off topic here, y'all. Just to help this guy out. Let me see. You're just going to take that file. Let me see if I can look for it real quick, because it took me a while to get that one going too. C, program files. No, it's not in that one. It's in program, the regular program files. So C folder, program files, and then, oh, it's not Secure CRT. What's that company called? The company that made the Secure CRT? Oh, Van Dyke. That's what it was. C, program files. I don't see it in program files. Or maybe it's users. Real quick, y'all, real quick. I just want to see something real quick. C, users, my name, I don't remember. C, users, public, nope, I don't remember. But it's in the Van Dyke folder, and you got to drop that file. If you Google that, that name I told you about, you'll be able to find it. And somebody created all the keywords, and then as long as you put it in a specific folder, in the Secure CRT Programs file folder, you'll be able to have this theme right here. He said the client that has not received the VLAN update yet. Van something. Oh yeah, Van Dyke. Van Dyke. I just don't know where in the Van Dyke folder you got to put that file. I can't remember. But I'm going off topic here. We came to do HSRP today. I'm sorry, my bad, bro. To configure HSRP interfaces and enable routing. Next step. HSRP provides redundancy in the network. VLANs can be load balanced using the standby group priority command, which is kind of like what we did yesterday. The IP routing is used in DLS1 and DLS2, which I did earlier in the stream to activate routing. Each route processor can route between the various SVIs on its configured switch. The standby command configures the IP address of the virtual gateway. So pretty much the same thing what we did yesterday, except now in the following configurations, the priority for VLANs 1, 10, and 50 is 150 on DLS1, making it the active router for those VLANs. VLANs 30 and 40 have a priority of 100, etc., etc., etc. I guess I didn't give you guys these steps in the Discord server because I thought it was going to be too much stuff to, I didn't want to throw all that stuff in the group chat there. But looks like if you want the specifics to actually follow the whole thing, that's what we had to do. So let's go to DLSW1 and configure HSRP. So kind of like what we did yesterday in Boson NetSim, go to global config mode. We go to interface VLAN 1, and we said standby. What group did they want us to put us in? Group 1. And then the standby IP is going to be 1.1. What's his VLAN 1? Did I do an IP address for VLAN 1? I guess not. But that's show interface status. Let me see. Show IP interface brief real quick. Okay, so 1.3 is the physical IP address, but the virtual IP address is going to be 1.1 in this case. So standby 1 IP 172.16.1.1. That is the HSRP IP address. And then they want us to set preemption and the priority to be 150. Standby 1 preempt. Remember what that is, right? That's so that way if another router gets into an HSRP group, he says, hey, does anybody have a higher priority, or is anybody the HSRP master or HSRP active router in here? If not, then I become the active router. But if somebody else comes into the HSRP group and says, hey, is anybody the HSRP active router in here? If not, and I have preemption turned on, and then guess what? I become the active router. And that's the syslog message you see right here. Group 1, standby. He said, nobody's active router. I'm standing by. Okay, don't look like nobody's HSRP active router. I guess I will be the active router, right? Somebody else comes in. He can't overthrow you to become the active router until he has preemption enabled. And that's what we're doing right here with this command, right? That syslog message came right on time with that explanation there, man. I love it when my streams do that. So standby 1, preempt. Standby, what else they want us to do? Turn on preemption and set the priority. Standby 1, priority, he said 150, right? So now, if somebody else had a higher priority or a lower priority, and they're already the active router, since I have preemption turned on, I will overthrow him. That's what that preemption does. That preemption command does. Man, something. That's the link. I got it. Oh, you found the link to the Cisco backgrounds for the theme? I hope that helped, man. But yeah, there's a video on YouTube that shows you exactly how to get this theme right here, man. It's really helpful. Ever since I was introduced to Secure CIT and I found that, I'm like, oh my god, that is so cool. I need that, man. Such a fucking nerd. Let's go to DLSW2. Actually, no. They want us to create, it looks like another, they want us to create a couple interface VLANs. Looks like this switch is going to be the only, no, they're going to create a couple gateways on this router. On this switch. So All right, so here's what we're doing now. Now we're doing an interface VLAN 10 and creating a gateway on VLAN 10, and then setting the priority and everything like that on that guy. So interface VLAN 10. So you'll see syslog messages similar to this one as well. Interface VLAN 10 standby 1 priority. I'm sorry, we need to do the IP addressing first. IP address is 172.16.1.3, I believe. 10.3. 255.255.255.0, and then we'll put it in standby group number 1, and we'll give him the same VIP or virtual IP address, right? So what was it? It was this guy right here. We're gonna do the same exact thing, and we'll set preemption. So let me erase this real quick, and then oh, you can't do that. Here's what we got to do. We got to put it in another group is what it is. Standby 10. Let me see. Why can't I do that? That address is in VLAN 1. 172.16.1.1. Oh, it need to be 10.1. My bad. 10.3, 10.1. So I need to give him another IP address. That's what it is. My bad. So standby. That's the standby IP for this interface. And then preemption and the priority. Standby 1 preempt. Standby 1 priority is going to be 150, right? So we're doing the same thing that we did in yesterday's lab, except on DLSW1 we're creating a VLAN 1, a VLAN 10. We're going to do a VLAN 20, a VLAN 30, and a VLAN 40. And then we're going to create virtual IPs for each one of these guys. And there'll be gateways for pretty much all of these guys. So now when this guy needs to talk to, he's in VLAN 10, right? If he needs to talk to a switch that's in VLAN 40, or the server who's in VLAN 40, he's going to have to go to the interface VLAN 40, the gateway for it, and then he talks to the SQL server. And the other thing is that it's a virtual IP address. So in case this goes down, there's going to be another router, probably this guy right here. This switch right here will also have, pick a different color. This switch right here will also have an interface VLAN 40 in case that one over there goes down. So that way, next time you need to talk to the SQL server, if he goes to the gateway over here and that one's down, he doesn't know. He's just going to see the VLAN 40 interface is there, and then he talks to the server that way. He's just going to see that these two right here are in an Hsrp group. He just sees one gateway. That's all he sees because they share a virtual IP address, right? I hope I don't confuse you with that, with all this handwriting and stuff, but it's pretty much just like yesterday's lab. Maybe yesterday's lab was a little bit simpler, and I was using Boson NetSim, and it doesn't have all of this cabling and all of these switches and stuff like that. So it's just a little bit more of a complex topology compared to yesterday's lab. That's all it is, you know. So we're just getting a little deeper. We got Permit IP Andy in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. He said, "Love me some Hsrp." Y'all check out his channel. He has a lot of Cisco iOS stuff too. So make sure you join. Subscribe to his channel as well. But yeah, we're doing a lot of Hsrp stuff. This is an old manual that I found a long time ago, where they used to have the CCNP exam divided into switch, route, and then the T-shoot. So that's where I got this from. I just wanted to kind of go over this. So we created the interface VLAN 10, and then we it's inactive. We needed to set the priority. We turned on preemption. We need to do the same thing for VLANs 20, 30, and 40, right? So the ones that I was talking about over here, 20, 30, and 40, right? Pete said highest number wins with priority. Yes and no. Good question. Right? So we can have, so remember what I was saying about these Hsrp groups, right? We can have a switch that comes into an Hsrp group. Let's say it's Hsrp group number 40. He joins the group and he says, hey, I'm going to be in this group. Is anybody the active router? My priority is 200. Right? But somebody else could have the priority of, let's say, 150, and he's the active router. Even though I have a higher priority, I don't become the active router unless preemption is turned on. And that's what that preemption does. It kind of overthrows, it does like a coup d'etat of the Hsrp group, right? So yes, highest priority win, but it does not become the active router unless he has the highest, unless he has preemption enabled. Permit IPNDN. He said, I failed the hell out of all those old CCNP exams. You know what? I did too. I failed. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I failed route twice. I failed switch. I passed switch on the first try, and I thought I was hot shit until I took that route exam. Failed it twice, and then I finally passed it. But then I didn't have time to take the T-shoot exam. So, it's been like a lifelong journey for me to get the damn CCNP exam. So, man, shout out to you, man. We're all in this, man. That's the journey, man. It's just the journey with these certifications and stuff like that. Let's do interface VLAN 20 now, right? Let me get out of this. Interface VLAN 20. And remember what I was saying, Pete, about the priority and stuff like that, right? We'll create another group and we'll see what happens, right? Kind of like this right here. He became the active router because nobody else was in that group. And he didn't have to worry about preemption or the highest priority or any of that, right? So that's what we're going to do here, right? So interface VLAN 20. His IP address was going to be, did they put that in here? Yes, it is. 20.1. Right? Yes, 20.1. So 172.16.20.1, 255.255.255.0. Standby 1 IP is going to be, what is the standby IP for that group? I didn't see that. 20.1. Oh, the physical IP is supposed to be 20.3. So my bad on that. The physical IP is 20.3 on the interface VLAN 20.3. So my bad with that. This is 20.3. The virtual IP is 20.1. So standby 1 IP 172.16.20.1 255.255.0. Right? What am I doing here? Oh, there's no mask on the virtual IP. It's kind of a given. And then standby, what do they want the priority to be? 20.1. Preemption. They want preemption turned on as well as the priority 150. So standby 1 preempt. Standby 1 priority 150. So you should see another syslog. There it is right there. So he came in, he went into speak mode and said, hey, is anybody the active router for group 20? He saw nobody's group 20 active router, and he became the active router. And that's what this syslog message is here. So will you see the same thing for VLAN 30 and 40? So let's go ahead and do that. And let me hurry up, right? Because we're almost an hour and a half into the stream here. Interface. Let me get out of this. Interface VLAN 30. IP address is 172.16, probably 30.3. Let me see. Yeah, it's 30.3. 30.3 /24. Standby 1. IP is 30.1, right? 172.16.30.1. And then standby 1 preempt. Standby 1 priority is 150. But yeah, that was a good question about the highest priority. The highest priority does win, but it does not overthrow the other one unless preemption is enabled. Trust. Oh, Pete said I hate that some protocols highest number wins, some protocols lowest number wins. It's funny you say that. I was watching a CBT Nuggets video yesterday or the day before. I think his name is Jeff Kish, and he said the same thing. Some protocols have the highest priority wins, and some protocols have the lowest priority wins. I don't know if they did that just to throw you off for these exams or what, but yeah, for Hsrp, it's the highest priority. Trust that. Thanks, bro. Just finished setting it up. I can see the logs much better now. If anyone else asks you, just send them that link. Oh, beautiful. What link? I don't remember sending you a link, but are you talking about the Cisco backgrounds one? Is that what you're talking about? But yeah, I'm glad that worked out for you, man. And notice we're the standby router for group 30. Or not group 1, but did I do group 30? I should have done, it should have been standby. Let me see. Yeah, the standby groups are correct. They are correct. So, yeah, the standby groups are correct. So let's go ahead and do VLAN 40 on this guy. Interface VLAN 40, and then we're gonna do the same thing on DLSW 2, right? So we did all these VLANs, right? These interface VLANs right here, and put it on this switch right here. We didn't do 40 yet. We're going to do 40 right now. And then we're going to do the same thing on this guy right here. And we're going to test Hsrp. And we'll call it, right? So, let me get out of this. Interface VLAN 40. His IP address should be 40.4, maybe? Let's see what they put it up as. 40.3 is what they put. 40.3. See, the IP addressing I thought would have been with that. So, IP address is 172.16.40.3, and then subnet mask is /24. It's already up, so now standby 1, and its IP is going to be probably 40.1. Yep, 40.1, and then they changed the priority to 100 on this one. So my bad. You know what? That's supposed to be on DLSW. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. So 40.3, and then the standby IP is 40.1. 172.16.40.1 we don't do the subnet mask for the IP address, but then they're going to set the priority to be 100. You know what? I needed to set this to be 100. That's incorrect. I need to fix that. All right? Remind me to do that. Standby 1 preempt. Standby 1 priority 100. And let's go back to, where is he at? You see this is up. We're going to see another one like this, and he's going to become the active router for the other group, VLAN 40 group 1, right? You'll see one more just like that in just a second. There it is right there. See it? Another fun fact. They say, hey, Hsrp says hello every 3 seconds. He considers the active or the he considers his neighbor dead or any other router dead after 10 seconds. That's called the hold timer, right? Let me pull up our cheat sheet real quick. There it is right there. The default hello timer is set to 3 seconds. He considers anybody else that's, if the active router is dead within, if he does not hear from his active router in 10 seconds, then he becomes the active router, right? And here's some basic configuration that we're setting up here. Hello, you can see, you could also set the hello timers. You can change that if you want to, if you really want to be funky with it. But we're just going to leave everything as default as far as the timers go. Where were we at here? We needed to fix interface VLAN 30's priority. So let's go to interface VLAN 30 standby 1 priority is 100. I could just do standby priority 100 though, right? Yeah, standby 1 priority 100. I think I could just do that. And then I think DLSW1 is done now. So we could check our work with what? Show standby. I don't like. I could do still standby, but it gives you a little too much information. So brief kind of condenses everything. We've got all of our virtual IPs that we mentioned earlier, and we are the active router for all of these interface VLANs. We fixed the priority there. I set it to 150 by mistake, right? So that all looks good. Pete, remember yesterday we had one of them. That said unknown, and that was on a that was in Boson. So let's see if that happens on this. This is actual hardware here, so we'll see if it actually happens with this as well. So we did all of our interface VLANs on this guy right here. Let's do the same thing on DLSW2, right? You'll see now we're the active router for all of these VLAN groups, Hsrp groups. Most likely DLSW2 will be the standby router, right? Theoretically here. So go global config mode. We'll say interface VLAN, which one? 1. And they want us to put it in priority. Yeah, we're setting the priorities to be 100 for the first 3 and 150. So the opposite of this right here. The opposite. So we're going to put these guys, the priority to be 100, those to be 150. So that way we are the standby router for these VLANs and the active router for these VLANs, right? And it'll be the inverse for this switch, right? That makes sense? I hope that makes sense. Oops, interface VLAN Q. Standby 1 IP. His IP is going to be, what did they say they want it to be? 1.1. Preempt, and then priorities 100. So 172.16.1.1 is the virtual IP address. And then standby 1 preempt. Standby 1 priority is going to be 100. And then the other one's going to be 10.1, 30.1, and 40.1, right? As noted right here. These interface VLANs, we got to create them on there as well. And then join them to their respective Hsrp groups. Well, those are not the interface VLANs. Those are the standby IPs. Those are the standby IPs. So my bad. Again, see, they're the Hsrp gateway addresses. Those are the Hsrp gateway addresses. They're gonna have, these guys are gonna have SVIs on them, but they're gonna have different SVIs, right? So these addresses are going to be shared among these two switches right here. This switch and that switch. These are the virtual IP addresses, right? I hope that makes sense, right? So DLSW2, we're going to have interface VLAN 10. See, now he's a standby router. He's a standby router. And we'll do the standby brief, and you'll see all of them put together once this is all done, right? We're almost into 2 hours into this stream here. Interface VLAN 20. His IP address. Oh, my bad. We got to do standby IP. Standby 1. Oh, my bad. We got to do the IP address for this guy. IP address is 172.16. What is he? He is 10.1. I'm sorry, 10.4. 10.4. And then the Hsrp address is there, right? These are the Hsrp address. So I guess I didn't give you guys the full instructions in the Discord server, which, by the way, if you don't know, I have a Discord server. So when you guys want to know about these streams or kind of join in on these labs here, then do them so you can do them together with us. Join the Discord server and you'll kind of like get the inside scoop. That's the Discord server right there. He said, makes sense. Oh, I hope that makes sense, man. Appreciate it. Let me know if I'm confused you guys or anything like that, or if I didn't make anything clear. So that's the IP address. The standby IP, though, standby 1 IP is 10.1, right, for VLAN 10. So that's the standby IP, 10.1 right there. 172.16.10.1 slash no, we don't have to do the IP, the subnet mask for that. And then standby 1 preempt Standby 1. We want to set the priority to be what? They said the priority needs to be 100 for this one. Oops. 100. And then we should see another syslog message here, just like this one right here in a second. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is right there. So now he's in standby mode for VLAN 10. Let's do interface VLAN 20. I need to be racing through this, man. IP address is what? 10 dot. Is it 20.4? So 20 dot. Yeah, 20.4, 30.4. So it's .4 for the physical IP addresses. I just need to remember that. 172.16.20.4/24 subnet mask. Oops, .0. He's already up. Standby IP is also going to be 20.1, right? See that right there? These are the standby IPs again, right? For VLAN 20, it's 20.1. Standby 1 IP 172.16.20.1. We don't need to do a subnet mask. Standby 1 preemption. Standby 1 priority is going to be 100, I believe, for this one as well. And then 30.4 and 40.4 for the other interfaces. Interface VLAN. So VLAN 30. IP address is 172. There's the other syslog message we was expecting. 16.30.4. Subnet mask of /24. Standby 1 IP is going to be 30.1, right? There it is right there. 30.1, that's the standby IPs, remember? These guys right here are the standby IPs. They just have different physical SVIs. Physical SVIs, that's kind of an oxymoron there. They have different SVIs, but then the standby IP are these .1s, right? .4 are the actual IP address of the interface. So standby IP is going to be 172.16.30.1. Standby 1. His priority is going to be 150. And standby 1 preempt. And what's the other one? We're almost done here, y'all. He's the active router now. Notice that he's now, for this one, he's the active router. Why is that? Because we turned on preemption and we have a higher priority on this guy. Remember? Because this guy he was the priority. Now he went from speak to standby. He was the active router for VLAN 30. But guess what? I have a higher priority. This guy has a higher priority. I set it to 150. So his was 150 for VLAN 30. And his is 100 for VLAN 30. That's why he became the active router for that VLAN. Right? So now let's go to interface VLAN 40. This is the final one, I believe. IP address is going to be 172.16.40.4. Subnet mask of /24. Is that correct? Standby 1 IP is going to be 40.1, right? Right here, see that? This is the standby IP addresses. He's going to be 40.1, right? I'm doing all this stuff on this switch right here, right? That makes sense? IP 172.16.40.1, and his standby 1 is set to preemption. 1 priority is going to be 150, and theoretically we should see another syslog message just like this, and it's gonna be in listen mode, and then he went from speak mode to active. He even skipped the listening mode. He just said, look, I'm the active router. Remember the different modes there are for, or states there are for Hsrp? They are speak. We go into speak mode. We go in there and say, hey, does anybody the active router in this group. All right? We listen in to see if anybody's the active router. And then we decide whether we are active or standby, depending on whether we have preemption enabled or what our priority is. And that's what the Hsrp states are. I know this doesn't look like it's in order here, but that's just because these states are also in Glbp, and they're kind of done a little differently, and they're named differently as well. So I hope that makes sense. So now let's check our work. I think that is the final step here, right? Verify the Hsrp configuration, and then we'll verify connectivity and functionality. So let's go ahead and verify. We already did that on this switch right here with the show standby brief. Show standby brief. And we saw we are now the active router for these 3 routers. You see how that makes sense? I hope that makes sense here, right? So we're the active router for those 3 routers. This is DLS1's perspective right here, right? DLS1 is sitting over here. That's this switch right here. He is the active router for these interfaces, or for these Hsrp groups. I'm not sorry, not groups, VLANs. I guess we could have put them in different groups, but we put them all in one group, but just different VLANs. But he is the active router for those VLANs right there. 1, 10, and 20 right here. He is the active router for these guys right here. He is the active router. And then this guy right here is going to be the active router for the other ones. He's going to be active router for these VLANs. Right? Same group, but different VLANs. They're going to be the active router. Right? So, and what we're doing here is we're creating redundancy here. So switch 2, we run that same command, show standby brief. And it's the inverse of that. See that? He is the active router for those VLANs right there. That makes sense? Now do the show standby brief. Yep, he said it. Exactly, Pete. Caden Collins, I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, it's all good, Caden. You could always rewatch the stream. I keep these live streams up, in the archive or whatever. Me talking shit, and you can just always watch it in the future, man. I'll go back and watch these too and see where I made a mistake at, or, because I'm not perfect, or maybe I might have given the wrong information. I like to fact check myself. I'll go into the description of these videos and I'll put, hey, I made a mistake at timestamp, blah, 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 blah. This is what I really meant. So I go back and watch these too, man. Plus it helps with the view count. So those are the active routers and the standby routers with their respective virtual IPs. What else we got to do here? The next step was what Pete said, to run the actual. He said they are actually different groups, but the group is numbered group 1 on each VLAN. Oh, okay. Yes, I guess that makes sense. It looks like they're in the same group, but yes, he's group 1 for VLAN 1, group 1 for VLAN 10, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, they're different groups, but they're not necessarily the same group. But I guess looking at it this way, a better way to look at it is if we just do show standby, and that really shows us that they're in different groups. So right here, VLAN 1, group 1. Right? When we do that, VLAN 10, group 1. VLAN 30, group 1. So it looks kind of different using this right here. Right? Plus we see whether it's an active or standby. We see the virtual MAC addresses, which we haven't talked about yet. The default timers, hello is 3. Hold time is 10 seconds. What else? So we did the I think that's pretty much it. Show standby and show standby brief. The book didn't. The book does talk about standby brief. It does. But they do have a couple questions there. Which router is the active router for VLANs 1, 10, and 20? Well, we just did that with the show standby brief. 1, 10, and 20. The active router is DLSW1 or DLS1, right? DLSW2 or DLS2 is the active router for VLANs 30 and 40. What is the default time for each VLAN, which we just said? Default hello is 3. Default hold is 10. How is the active router selected? We said it already throughout this stream. The highest priority, and if preemption is enabled, then he overthrows the other one. Use the show IP route to verify routing on both DLSW1 and 2 or DLS1 and 2. So they just want to show IP route to view the routing table. And there's the gateways there that we've configured. The SVIs on each one, not the Hsrp ones. How could we see the routes to the Hsrp gateways? How could you see that? And could you see that in the routing table? Because remember, the gateways are .1, where the SVIs are .3. So how could you see that on the routing table? Is it possible to do that? Show IP route 172.16. Let's say, I don't know, 30.1, 30.1. Yeah. But I don't see, I wanted to see the actual, see it in the routing table, whatever, who cares? How's the Hsrp router selected? We said that already, using preemption and the higher priority. Verify connectivity between the VLANs. Verify connectivity between VLANs using the ping command from the SQL server, which is located here. And I don't have an actual SQL server, so I'll probably just use this laptop and try to test connectivity doing that. And from the SQL server to the other hosts and servers on the network. So what I'll do here is I'll use this laptop, connect it to DLSW2. Let's go to DLSW2, or DLS switch 2, and then put it in port number 20. I'm sorry, port number 6, right? See that? Port 6 is right over here. And then I'll test connectivity. So, y'all give me a second. Yes. For anybody, for any of the virtual heads over here. Yes, I know I could have done this using Packet Tracer or GNS3 or something. But goddammit, I like using hardware, okay? So, I actually have 4 switches cabled up, 2 laptops, and gonna test connectivity between them. Gonna put this guy, let's go to DLSW2 and see if we are actually in DLSW2, right? Or DLS2, and see the actual message. Put him in port number 6. We should see a message come up showing that he's turned on. That is the distribution layer switch there, right? Oh, I didn't have it plugged up here. Do we have, is that DLSW2, DLS switch 2? No, those I believe are the access layer switches. So DLS2 is over here actually. We should see a syslog message now. Wait for it, wait for it. There it is right there. So the laptop is now plugged into port number 6. Spanning tree is kind of going through its states right now. It's in amber right now. Let me just make sure he is in the correct VLAN, which is what? He should be in VLAN number 40. See that? He's in VLAN number 40. And let's just verify with what? Show interface status. Let's see. Let's make sure that he is there. He is in VLAN 40. He is connected. What I thought was weird, though, was that if you do show VLAN brief, I didn't see 40. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. 40 is right there. I don't know why I didn't see that the first time. Maybe I was looking at the access layer switches. Who knows? Who cares? Let me see. Let me just real quick. We'll test connectivity in a second here. I just wanted to see something real quick. Show VLAN. VLAN brief. I didn't create. See, I didn't see the interfaces there. So that's what I thought was weird. But who knows? Who cares? That one down. Oh, I had put it in DLS1 is what happened on that other one, right? He went down, or is he up? Where did I plug him up to? DLS, where is that switch? Make sure I'm in the correct port. Which switch was that? It was DLS2, didn't it? Yep. Switch number 6. Port number 6. Why did it look like he went down for a second? Maybe I was looking at the wrong switch. All right, so let me make sure again real quick. Show interface FA. Interface FAST106. Is he up and connected? Yes, he is. What did I want to test? I wanted to test connectivity between this PC to the engineering host. So I'll have to connect another PC and put it in the engineering. I do have another laptop. Yes, I do. And I need to give him that IP address and put him in ALS2. So let me do that. Y'all give me a second. And yes, I know for anybody that is in the virtualization, I could have done that using Packet Tracer or some other, but damn it, I love hardware, okay? I like doing it the old school way, man. Don't judge me. Y'all hit me that like button. Make sure you join the Discord server. And I hope I don't have a low battery with this laptop. Resuming, let me make sure that IPs are, these two laptops are configured correctly too. I wish I was able to, so that way you guys can actually see the connectivity of these laptops, but I don't have them plugged up or anything like that, so that way you could see the streams and stuff like that. Maybe I could do that with this laptop. Maybe I can do that, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to mess it all up or anything like that. Maybe I could. Let's do that. Let's do that. And just set connectivity to this guy. If y'all want, we can do that. Let me see. Let me plug this guy back up and not use this laptop for now. And let me make sure that I can set him up to be, so that way y'all can see the pings and stuff come across. Do we have, where you at? Where you at, homie? I need to set, it's gonna be over here. Network and sharing settings. Where is he at? I believe it's gonna be this guy right here. Let me make sure. What is he? He is port number. Bing! Let me make sure. Did he go away yet? Let me make sure what he is. Change the adapter settings. This one is port number. There it is. It's number 4. That one right there. Yeah, I like the way I figured out which one is which. Just unplug that motherfucker. We need to change his IP address. He's gonna be the, what's he gonna be? The engineering PC. He's gonna be the engineering PC. His IP address needs to be 172.16.20. 172.16.20.100. So 172.16.20.100, and it's going to be /24. So 255. Oops, my bad. Oops, my bad. Oops, my bad. And his gateway should be 20.1, I believe. 172.16.20.1. Configuring multiple gateways. Yeah, sure, whatever. That's just for now. And let me make sure that he is supposed to be in. Let me see. That port is blocked right now. I see it on the switch and it's blocked. Let's see what's going on here. Where is he at? ALS number, I believe is this one right here. Or is it bouncing? What's going on here? Let's see. Show interface status. Is it being blocked or what? It's connected, VLAN 10. What about spanning tree? Show span. We got a blocked port channel. I don't know. Let me see. He said no ISP in this lab. Okay, Aaron said, I might be a dumb question, but how do we connect multiple routers to our ISP? Or are we load balancing 2 ISPs also? No ISP in this lab. No, this lab is kind of off the grid, so I don't have anything connected to the internet or anything like that. But generally, one router connects to the ISP on the edge of the network. Yep, if I understand you correctly. Then you would become David Bomble with all the remote connections. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I have my lab rack off the grid, so none of this stuff is connected to an ISP or anything like that. This laptop is, I guess, essentially. But what I needed to do was, I'm just wondering why I have this switch right here as amber. Let me see. See, right there. Now he's down, but he was up for a second there. So I don't know. Let me just put it back up. Let me just make sure. Let me plug the laptop back up, and then you'll see. No, he's supposed to be on ALS number. The PC needs to be an ALS number. Engineering host. Where's the engineering host? ALS 2. Which is located not on that switch, but this one down here. This is ALS 2. I just remember the access layer switches are at the bottom. So ALS 2 is right here. We should get a message. Let's do show logging. Let's see. Where is he at? Did he get a message that he came up? There it is right there. So it just came up. And no, it's not 3 in the morning. It's just I don't have the clock set, right? Show clock. Apparently it's still 1993. Now I think we can send a ping over, since we set the IP address to this guy. I shouldn't have made this one the engineering host, because I have to ping from this laptop to this one. Let me just set this guy to be the SQL server. Y'all give me a second here. Open network settings. Change adapter settings. Unidentified network. He is 172.16. What is the engineering PC? 1640.100. 1640.100. And his gateway should be 40.1. Let me see if I can ping the gateway 40.1. Give me a second here. Ping. Oops. I just got a network message. Ping 172.16.40.1. We got a reply on the gateway. That's good to go. And then I should ping the engineering PC. So I got a reply from the gateway. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let's go ahead and ping the engineering PC, which is 172.16.20.1. So right now, this is what happened. This laptop is simulating the SQL server. This guy right over here. I was able to ping the gateway, that right there, which was 40.1. Now I'm going to see if I can ping the engineering host, which is this laptop that you guys are where the actual streaming is. I should have done it the other way around, but I didn't think about it till I'm streaming now. That's why, I don't really get to rehearse these labs like that. So 20.100 is who I need to ping. 20.100. Wait for it. Pinging. I don't have a reply. So something is off here. Let's see what I need to fix here. Right? 172.16.20.100. Yes, that's correct. Let me make sure this PC is correct in the correct ports here. Now, here's what I'm confused about. I have an amber light on this PC. I thought it was spanning tree or something that's blocking it. Maybe port security. Who knows? Let's see what's going on here on ALS2 port 6. Show. Is it port security? Let's see. Show port security. We don't have any violations, I don't think. Show interface or show port security interface. FA106. Violation mode is shut down. Right now it's set to secure down. Port security is disabled, so it's not turned on. Let's do a show run interface FA106. We have port fast enabled. It's show interface FAST106. Why do I have an amber light on this switch here? On FA06. I have an amber light. It's up. Port security is not doing anything to it. I checked spanning tree, didn't I? Show span. Then I check spanning tree. We're blocking on port channel 2. But port channel 2 is like, it's like one of these port channels. It has nothing to do with FA06. So right now is where I have an amber light. I have an amber light on this right here. Bloop. There's an amber light there. Anybody think they can figure that out? Why do I have an amber light? And that's probably why I can't ping it either. Let's do a show IP route real quick. That's turned off. Can I ping? Let me see. Can this PC ping that gateway? Let me try that. I'm gonna have this PC right here, the one that's simulating the SQL server. I'm gonna see if I can ping 20.1, which should be, it should be on here as well. Can I ping 20.1? 20.1. 172.16.20.1. Ping transmit, general failed. Nope, I can't. I can definitely ping my own SVI though, which was 40.1. Right? Was it 40.1? It was 1640.1. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, I can ping that. I just can't ping so I can ping the SVI that's on here, but I can't ping that host right there. And I'm thinking it has something to do with this amber light that I got over here. Let's see. Could mean 110 gig, 100 megabit. Oh, maybe the speed? It's possible. It's possible. We got Fyron Twan in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. Oh, I didn't even realize that was you, Foster. Appreciate you for tuning in as well. Y'all both get bruh. I'm gonna have to cut this stream pretty short in a bit here too. Might not be able to. We did most of the Hsrp configuration, but we still need to verify connectivity. So let me see what's going on here. Let me see what's going on here, and then I will let y'all know. Oh, first of all, I'm unplugged over here. That's why I couldn't even ping the gateway for a second. Let me ping that one more time. 20.1, right? Yeah, 20.1. Destination host unreachable. And I got it from 40.100, which is on DLS2. Let's check the routing table on the distribution layer switch. Show IP route. I'm directly connected to DLSW2. Show IP route. Do I have some routes? I do. But for some reason, can he ping 20? What I'm gonna do is have the switch try to ping that PC, which is 20.100. 172.16.20.100. Ping 172.16.20.100. Which was this laptop that you guys are actually seeing I'm streaming from. He can't ping him either. Let's make sure, and it probably has to do with this amber light, man. This amber light is just kind of bothering me, man. Let's see. You know what? It could be that I gotta turn on, like, what's that, printing feature or whatever? Print sharing. You gotta make sure that's like turned on or something. That's a web result. I don't want to mess with that. the sharing settings, I believe, is what you got to set turned on. See, I think that's folder sharing. That's on. That is the feature that I was talking about. That's on. So that's good. That has nothing to do with it then. Can he ping? Let me check his settings. And if this don't work, then I'm just gonna use these laptops and go with that. Cause like I said, I don't like this amber light here. I don't know why he's got an amber light. Command prompt, IP config, and let's see what we got going on here. I set him to B172. Where was he at? This guy right here, 20.100. Can he ping 20.1? 172.16, 20.1. 172.16.20.1. No reply there. Nope, no reply there. And it probably has something to do with this amber light. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to use this laptop. It should time out. It should have had a general failure there. So I don't like that. But let's just work with the two laptops and go from there. And if that don't work, then I'll just have to figure this out off stream, and I'll let you guys know on the Discord server how I figured it out. So I'm going to use the laptop, which is what I originally was going to do. Yes. Now I have both of these laptops, one connected to one switch, one connected to the other, and I'm going to have them try to ping each other. I'm not sure what's going on with, I've got too many network adapters on that one. And then, see, now I don't have do I have an amber light? Yes, I do have an amber light. So we'll figure out what that's about. Maybe, do I have spanning tree turned on this one? Let's make sure that the spanning tree is turned on. Let me make sure. Let's make sure. This is the access layer switch, right? Yeah. So let's make sure. Show run interface FA106. We should have spanning tree is turned on. Access VLAN number 20. We still have an amber light there. Why do I have an amber light? Anybody know? Because I don't have an amber light on the other switch, on the other PC. That's interesting. Let me unplug that guy. Sorry, bro. Have an early morning. I'll finish checking out the replay as well as the Discord. Stay blessed. Hey, it's all good. I'll let you know once I figure it out. I may cut this stream pretty short here soon too. But for some reason, again, let me show you real quick. I have an amber light right over here. Whatever I connect to that port right there. I have it in the correct VLAN, which is VLAN 20. Right? We said it's going to be a VLAN 20. Yes, we said VLAN 20. We're supposed to give them the IP of 172.16.20.100, which that's a layer 3 issue. That's not really anything to do with the amber light there. And maybe it's that right there. This MD5 digest revision on port channel number 3. Let's take a look at port channels real quick. Show ether channel some. The port channels are up. There's something he don't like about VTP. I might just put it in VTP mode, man. Show VTP status. We got some mismatches here. He don't like any of this. We didn't come to do VTP anyway. VTP is barely used, and most of this stuff is like the last companies I worked for all put their stuff in transparent mode anyway, right? Which essentially turns off VTP. So let's go ahead and do that. Transparent mode. Let's put this guy in transparent mode also. Let's put them all in transparent mode. Where was the other one at? The other one was at... And why are we getting these messages now? Somebody went from active to standby. Maybe because I unplugged a gigabit switch. I mean a gigabit cable, a fiber cable that I had there. What can I check to see what is going on here? And that's the point of labbing here, man. I know it seems like a fuck up or whatever, but this is the stuff that kind of like gives you the experience, right? I'm not sure why I have an amber light here though. It's on ALS2. Let's go to ALS2 real quick. We put it in transparent mode, right? Show VTP's status. Did we put it in transparent mode? Mode. Where's the mode at? It's in transparent mode. We got these, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. On port channels 1, 2, and 3. So, and that's a what? ALS2. So we have a port channel mismatch here, here, and here. But either way, I still have show interface status. It says connected full 100. That interface right there is where I'm having the amber light. Does anybody want to take a guess? Are the switches the root in spanning tree and active in HSRP? Good question. Show standby brief. Let's see. For VLAN 20, what happened? I thought he was in standby. Oh no, these are not. These the access layer switches are not in the HSRP group. The two switches that are in HSRP are these two switches right here. These two are configured in HSRP. They're the HSRP routers. These two switches right here are access layer switches, and they're not part of the HSRP group. So good question. You wanted to know about spanning tree, so spanning tree root. He is the root for VLAN 1. But I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But yeah, the access layer switches are not part of the HSRP group. Good question, though. I think that VLAN is supposed to be a lower number, right? Yeah, before I set the IP address on this, let me do that. Let me do that, though. While you guys try to brainstorm why I have an amber light here. I have an amber light here. Once I get that going, I'm going to change the adapter settings. It says network cable unplugged. I don't think this cable is messed up. But it doesn't show it plugged up on this switch. Let me unplug it real quick. Yeah, it says unplugged. So when I plug it back onto this identifying let's see what happens. Identifying unidentified network. Now he's up over there, but I still see an amber light. Maybe I could try a different port. Maybe there's something physically wrong with the port. Who knows? But I have a. Let me fix this IP address. This PC is going to be the. This PC is going to be. He said, "Do you have your VLANs?" This is supposed to be in VLAN 20, and it shows that it is. Show VLAN brief. He doesn't show VLAN 20 on here, but I mean, he said he's in VLAN 20. So do I need to manually create the VLAN? Maybe that's what it is. VLAN 20, and then name it. What was the name? What was it? Engineering VLAN. Engineering. Maybe that was it, but I don't think that has. That looked like it was it. Peter Hunt got it, y'all. You know what? Maybe I thought the VLANs needed to be propagated and it didn't happen. I had to manually create that VLAN. Now it's no longer amber. So shout out to Pete for that one. The simplest thing, man. Creating the damn VLAN. So now we do a show VLAN brief. Here's the other reason why I got confused by this, Peter. Now, I don't want to take away your shine or anything like that, but I thought if you put a interface, an access port, if you put it in a specific VLAN and the VLAN is not created, it'll say, this VLAN does not exist, now creating the VLAN. And I thought that's what would have happened. Apparently that did not happen, but that is the reason why. And now I have a green light here, so shout out to Pete for that one. Man, That's crazy, man. But yeah, shout out to you for that one. Let me go ahead and set the IP address on this PC, or maybe I can go back to this one. Let's go back to this one so that way you guys can see the actual PC getting pinged. So, and see, this is why I fuck with y'all, man. This is why, like, I'm not perfect, and this is why I like labbing this stuff live, because you guys can help me out, and vice versa, right? Like, I teach you what I know, but also you guys help me out. So now I know when something is amber and it says it's in a Pacific VLAN, make sure that the fucking VLAN is on there. So now it's up. Let's check the interface. Which one was it? It was this one right here. Let's make sure that he has the correct VLAN. I mean, correct IP address. He's 20.1. I was going to have... who was I going to have ping who? Oh, this guy was going to ping the engineering PC. Or I should do it vice versa, right? Can I ping? Yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. Caden said, awesome, huh? Yeah, see? This is why I fuck with y'all, man. Y'all help me figure this out, too. He needs to be pinging... Who was he going to ping? He was pinging 20.1, right? He was going to ping his gateway first? Oh, he's unplugged. What am I doing here? General failure. Oh, he got a reply now? So... Destination host unreachable. Can he ping 40.1? 40.1. I forgot who the hell 40.1 was. Oh, 40.1 was supposed to be, I believe, his gateway, right? So IP config. Let me make sure I got all this correct. He is plugged up to, this is the distribution layer switch number 1. Let me make sure that the other VLANs are created too, though, man. Let me make sure that the other VLANs are created too. And I'd rather use the laptops too now. Let me make sure that the other VLANs are created. 20 and so VLAN brief. Let's do VLAN 10, 20, and 30. And 10. VLAN 20's already did, so 30. And VLAN 40. And then do the same thing on this guy. Show VLAN brief. And let's just make sure that they're all created on there. I guess with VTP, I thought they would have been propagated on there. And also, I was like, you know what, fuck VTP. Let's just create it manually. And I never created them manually. And that's what happened there. So, VLAN 10, VLAN 20. Oh, so he's in client mode, so you can't do that. So let's VTP mode transparent. VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. I created 390, 30, and then do a no 390 to get rid of that. And VLAN 40, show VLAN brief. I ain't worried about naming them now because I'm ready to cut this damn stream already. I can't ping just yet. Let me get these guys going. This is 40. What is he? He is 40.100. The other one should be what? Right here. 40.100. The other guy is 20.100. So he's 40.100. The other one should be 20.100. Y'all give me a minute. Then we almost 2 hours into the stream. No, almost 3 hours, I think. Because I started at 8, man. Resuming Windows. And let me make sure. What is this? Oh, he's coming up. My bad. Let me make sure that this one is over here. For my drink here. I saw it turn amber again because this cable, it's not that it's loose, it just keeps sliding out. So I keep seeing it going in its spanning tree and then going down and coming back up, going down and coming back up. So he's 40.100. The other one is 20.100, 20.100, and his gateway should be 20.1. 20.1. Let me see if I can ping my gateway. 20.1. CMD. Come on, wake up. Wake up, buddy. Make it the home network. Close. 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 He's got some updates that he needs to do. I'm going to leave that alone for now. Remind me later. CMD. IP config. Can I ping 20.1? Ping 172. Come on, man. 2.20.16. 20.1. I got a reply from the gateway. Can I ping 40.1 now? 40.1. No reply. Is routing. Does he have a routing table? So they can ping. So here's what I was able to do now. This guy can ping 20.1. I'm sorry, not 20.1. Oh, he got a reply now. Fuck. Let me try that again. Now he got a reply. Unbelievable. All right, so I was about to tell y'all, it waited for a little bit there, had 50% loss, and then he got a reply to 40.1. So he was able to ping 20.1, then he was able to ping 40.1, and now let me see if I can ping 40.100, which is the SQL server. 40.100. Wait for it, get on our knees, pray to the network gods. We got a reply, man. Shout out to Peter Hunt for helping me with that VLAN. The simplest thing could set you back, man. I didn't even have the VLANs created, man. So we got a reply from this laptop to that laptop. These two guys right here, just to show y'all. I don't know if you can see the ping replies or not, but basically I was able to connect one to one switch, one to the other, and was able to get a reply. And now it turned amber because probably that cable is becoming loose. What was the next step? The last step was verify connectivity between VLANs, verify Hsrp functionality. How do they want us to do that? I think what they wanted us to do was to shut down one of these gateways. So I'd probably like one of these gateways right here, shut one of those down and see if I can still ping from one PC to the other. And I think that's what they're going to have us do. Verify Hsrp by disconnecting the trunks to DLS2. You can simulate this by using the shutdown command on those interfaces. So they want us to shut down the trunks on 7 through 12 on DLS2. So DLS2. So basically, they want us to shut all of these trunks down. So shut down this trunk, and this trunk. So basically, we're shutting down this switch right here, or the trunks to this switch, and see if we can still get to the SQL server. You would think, how the fuck is he going to do that if we got all those red X's sitting right over there, right? It's like coming up to a detour, or coming up to a construction site, or like a highway, and you see all these construction signs, right? Can we still ping it? So let's go ahead and do that. Go to DLS2, which is that right there. Shut down all of those interfaces. Interface range FA 107 through. You see how it's going down, and it's coming back up because this cable is loose. So that was another reason why I was going through this trouble. I got a loose cable on this laptop here. You see, it keeps going up and down now. Freaking cable, man. Let me make sure it's still. Yeah, it's secure on this side, but it's loose on the actual laptop. So 107 through 12, and then we're going to shut all of those interfaces down. We should see a change in Hsrp standbys and groups. We're seeing all these port channels going down. We got a lot of shit going down here. All these alarms here. Look at this, man. We got a down port channel. Somebody went from active to init state. Let's see what happened. Let's go to show standby. Come on, man. Brief. And you see the other router became the active router. We're in speak mode. Let's run that again and see what happened. And now he's the active router for VLAN 40. Let's keep doing that and see if there's any other changes. So we still have a way to get to VLAN 40 because of Hsrp. Even though this switch is down, these trunks are down. So this trunk is down. This trunk is down. This trunk is down. Theoretically, this PC should still be able to ping the SQL server because of Hsrp, right? That's the beauty of that. Let's try that. 40.100. Pinging. Wait for it. Wait for it. Timed out. Is there something else we need to do, though? We shut it down. I don't think there's anything else we need to do. Make sure it's still plugged up. No reply yet. So what am I missing here? We did shut those down. 40.1 should still be up. Let's see. Can I ping 40.1, which is the virtual IP? There. And he's the active router for it. Let's make sure I can do that. Can I ping 40? Let me see. I'm up. Ping 40.1. I got a reply from 40.1. I got a reply from 40.1. This PC right here, though, is he still up? IP config. He is 40.100. So I can ping the gateway, but I can't ping 40.100. Waiting. Waiting. Nope. It's still timed out. It's still timed out. Let's no shut it and see if he can come back up. He's able to ping the gateway right there. But for some reason, so look, let me show y'all real quick. This is the PC 20, right? This PC right here is able to ping 40.1, that IP address right there, the virtual IP address, the Hsrp address. But for some reason, he can't ping this, which lies on VLAN 40.100. He can't ping it. Once I shut those down, though, let me make sure that. Let me see. What am I gonna need? DLSW, DLS1. Shit, what am I missing on DLS1? It could be something I'm missing here. Let's see. Let's see if he still has show standby brief and see what is wrong here. He is the active router, but does he have? Can he ping 40.100? 172.16.40.100. Oh no, he's not connected to it. I can't do that. Oh yeah, the switch is. What am I thinking? 40.100 is on DLSW2 or DLS2, so he should be pinging it, and he's up. Let's just check DLS2 and show that the PC is connected, though. Let's just make sure. Yep, he's connected. That's DLS2 right there. That's the PC. the SQL server. So this guy right here. That's what I'm trying to reach. What he said? He said no path to server. SQL server shouldn't be able to ping its gateway either. No path to the actual network. Virtual IP is up. Oh, okay. So then, let me see. What did they have us test then? They did just have us test just the Hsrp? Oh, okay. Yeah, then that's what it is. Let me see. Verify that the DLSW1 is acting as the default gateway. Yeah, you're right. So let's do this. Let me bring up one of these trunks, and if I can still ping it, then I should be good to go, right? So I turn this one down. I turn this one down, but I'm gonna keep this up and see if I can still ping it. Right? So I'm gonna keep that port channel up and see if I can still ping it. He has a path now, right? Y'all let me know. So let's go back to DLS. Which switch was that? DLS2, and turn up these interfaces and leave the other. Actually, let's just turn up 7 and 8. 7 and 8. Global config mode interface range FAST 107 through 8. No shut. Does that change the Hsrp groups too? We got a port channel that's up. I should be able to ping him now, right? Sending. Wait for it. Wait for it. No, he does not, because he doesn't have a connection to it. This guy is not routing. This guy is not routing, so he does not have a connection to it. Okay, so the interface VLANs are up. 110, 20, and 30 is up. We got group number 1 for that VLAN. Let me see. Virtual IP is up. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. There's no path to the server. So, being that I left one up, should I be able to ping it now, though? Try it one more time. Yep. You guys are right. There was no path. Now that I left one port channel up, at least one channel up, now I'm able to ping it. So we got a reply there. See, this is why I fuck with y'all, man. This is why I like streaming with you guys, because you guys help me, you know, understand this better. I thought I still would have been able to reach it. I can ping the virtual IP. I just couldn't ping the actual server. So that makes sense. I thought that's what they were gonna have us do. So for anybody that was watching, what happened was I was trying to ping this server, right? I was trying to ping this server right here. We took down this port channel, and that port channel. Now, there's an Hsrp group set up between these two switches right here. I was able to ping this gateway, which was 40.1, but I was not able to ping this server right here. Even though it's still up, and even though I can ping .1, 40.1, which was this address right over here, 40.1. I can still ping that, but I can't ping that because I have no way to get there. So what did I end up doing? I ended up bringing up one of these up and turning this one up right here. And I was able to finally ping the default gateway, which was 40.1, and also ping the actual server again. So shout out to Aaron for explaining that, and shout out to who was it that helped me figure out where I was really stuck at? Pete for helping me figure out that I didn't have the VLAN created. So make sure you join to the Discord server, so that way you have a head start on these labs. Because sometimes what I'll do is I'll give you these topologies and then let you know what I'm gonna be working on for the stream. Let me give you the invite to the Discord server. Make sure you follow me on all social platforms. Not all, but I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll post as much as I can. And I also I've been doing some like kind of like behind the scenes with Instagram Live. I'll go on Instagram Live and you'll see me cable all of this stuff up before I actually stream. So that's what I'm gonna start doing from now on. What else can I say? Tomorrow maybe we'll do Hsrp again, but we're gonna do it on BillSaw NetSim. It was a lot with this with the hardware, because I got to cable it all up, and then, you know, you run into like cabling issues like I did with these laptops and stuff. But I was glad that I was able to understand this concept a little bit better. That was a lot of fun for me. I hope it was for you guys as well. For now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.